Hello Stampers! I decided to get a little creative today with the Feathered Flight stamp set. Here's the stamp set. Now this is an online exclusive stamp set. It says online exclusive. That means it's only online. You can't find it in the catalog, but you can order it with any type of order from Stampin' Up. So here's the Feathered Flight. Isn't it beautiful with all the ducks? And what a great masculine set. So we're going to be using that today, and I decided just to put this very simple scene together here. And we have the one duck. This duck could be used, or that's got two different flying ducks, so you could use this one or this one. I decided to use this one. So we're going to be making this card, and we're going to go through it step by step as usual. And all the dimensions for this card you can find down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them all there, along with all the links to the products that I'm using today. So let's start with our main panel. And this is a basic white panel, and it's 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. So we have that, and then we're going to take some lemon lime twist and a blending brush, and I'm just going to go back and forth on this cardstock here, and I'm going to cover this entire cardstock with this lemon lime twist. Now I'm not getting real dark with it. I just want a nice little coating because it makes the paper just look like it's glowing. So we have that, and that was lemon lime twist. And now I'm going to take and go a little darker, and I have some soft sea foam here. And I'm going to take the blending brush once again. And this time I'm going to go back and forth on the bottom of the panel. I just want to get a little darker down here so it just looks like where the water is. Now we're just building this up lightly here. There we go. Now we've put a few coats on there. And now it looks like we have sky and water. So now we're just going to take a Post-it note. And I have the 3 by 5 Post-it notes, which is perfect for this scene. So I'm just going to take one. I'm going to take the sticky edge here, and I'm going to place it at the top of that water that we just put on. And I have it over here to the right side. And I'm putting it on as straight as possible. And it helps if you kind of line it up against the side of the cardstock. That way it's straight across here. So we have that. And then we're going to go and we're going to add some Old Olive. So I'm taking a blending brush here. And we're going to put it's just going to look like there's trees in the background here that are off in a distance. I'm going to use an upward stroke with this Old Olive. And I'm just kind of turning my brush as I do this. And we're taking this out a bit. There we go. And when you do this upward stroke, it kind of gives you a little bit of the brushes, make little lines in it. So we have that. And now we're going to bring in some Crumb Cake. I'm going to take a blending brush with this. And I'm putting it on the tip of the blending brush, and I'm just going to go back and forth along this Post-it note just till I get to the edge of that Old Olive that we put in. Now I didn't take the Old Olive all the way across, as you see. There isn't a part of the panel here that doesn't have it. So I'm going to stop that Crumb Cake right there. So I'm only putting on like a 1/4 inch here along there. And then what we did on the top, cover up some of that crumb cake here. I'm leaving like, I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch of this crumb cake showing, just so we don't get a ghost line. And this is going to also give us a different line here for our shoreline. So I'm going to turn this upside down, and we're going to do that same motion with the old olive first. That little upward stroke we're doing. Now this is our reflective side. That we're doing now, that's in the water. I have it upside down. And just add a little here at the end. Okay, so there we have that. And now we're going to put some of that crumb cake down here at the bottom. With our blending brush, just like we did at the top. And I'm not going to go beyond that part where it's cut off there. So leave that open. And I'm just going to go back and forth here along that Post-it note edge, putting some of that crumb cake in for a shoreline reflection. Okay, and then we can take this off, and looky there, we have our shoreline. And now we're going to add some white in here. I have some Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. And this is what I use instead of a white gel pen. You can absolutely use white gel pen for this. So I'm just going to open this up, and I'm going to use a little tiny paintbrush. This is a size 0, really small. Just going to dip my brush in here, and I'm just going to make some little marks here, back and forth, along that shoreline where it would like be making little ripples as it hits the shoreline. Little tiny ones. I did that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to smear it. And I like that look of that smeared Dr. P.H. Martin's. Now this is watercolor. If you haven't seen it before, it's watercolor. So you can put some water in it if you want to thin it down. But there is our water lines for that little bit of sparkle that we need in our water. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp our sentiment. And I have Memento Tuxedo Black here. And I have the Happy Birthday stamp from the Go-To Greeting stamp set. So this is the smaller one. This has some beautiful fonts in it. And it's been one of my favorite greeting stamp sets. So it's Go-To Greetings. So I'm just going to line this up. There we go. It's our nice happy birthday. It's nice and bold. That's really pretty. So there's our background. I just love that. So I have a piece of just scrap basic white cardstock. And I have my duck that I want to use out of the Feathered Flight stamp set. And I'm going to use Crumb Cake to stamp this with, because I kind of want the edge of its wings to be nice and feathery and to bring that crumb cake into the scene. So I'm just going to ink this up well and then give it a stamp. Now this image is light, and that's fine because I just want to know where it's at so that I can add some color to it. Now I have the dark, pretty peacock here, and I'm just going to color in. I'm going to color in its head, and there's an eye in there that I want to make sure I don't cover up. It's small. There we go. So there's the head. Now I'm also going to add, there's a piece here in the back. So a little piece on the back of the duck. And that was with the dark blue peacock. Now I'm going to come in with a bronze. This comes in the 3-pack, the one with that also has the ivory in it. And we're going to use this. I'm just going to use the tip here. Nope, I'm going to use the bullet point. And I'm going to add some of this to the wings. There we go, along the neck here. Now there's a white line on its neck, so don't cover that up. I'm going to put some of this along the belly. I'm going to put some down its tail feathers here. And I'm going to go ahead and color in this part of the wing also. There we go. I think I want that to come out just a little bit more to touch that wing. So, oh, and I forgot the beak. I'm going to go ahead and do the beak with this. I'm going to cut this out. And I'm just going to use my paper snips. And I cut around the first few feathers, the larger ones. But then the smaller ones, I just take it right across. I don't try to cut around each of those little feathers. You can if you like, but I like to fussy cut, but I don't like to fussy cut that much. So around some of these bigger ones, and then I just kind of go across the bottom of the others. This is such a pretty image. Now you could probably fit 2 birds flying on this. I kept it down to just this one. And I think I'm going to go over that pretty peacock again and make it much darker on its head. So there's my bird, and I think I want it a little darker. So you can always go back over your Stampin' Blends to get a darker color of what you've used. So here's a second coat. Add a little bit more here. And there we have it. So now I'm going to add this to my scene here. I'm going to come way over here at the far left. And I think I'm going to have its wing. I went kind of high with my water, so I think I'm going to have this wing just stick up just a little bit, and that's fine. And I'm going to put this on with Stampin' Dimensionals. Use my paper snips here, and I'm just going to cut some of this edge off for this nice thin piece of Stampin' Dimensional. Have these skinny wings here I just want to prop up. And its head. And then we can just put another dimensional here for its body. There we go. So you can color this duck any way you want to. It's kind of fun making them up to where they look different. So we've got him flying into the scene here. There's our bird. He looks great. So now we're going to just back him here with a piece of crumb cake. This crumb cake is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to use my multi-purpose glue here. Glue this panel on that crumb cake panel. I'm just going to bring it down. I'm going to put this on. When I do, I'm going to have it flush with the bottom and the right side. Then I have a pretty Peacock card base here that's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded in half to create my quarter card. So I'm going to put this on the front of my card, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have it flush with the bottom and the right. This gives so much more interest than to just put it smacked in the middle. There we go. Isn't that nice? So now we just need an insert, and you can put any birthday sentiment you want to on the inside. This is another piece of crumb cake. It's the same size as the one on the front of the card. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And I am going to center this one up here in the inside. And this just helps keep the back of your card from being flimsy, because you have a couple layers on the front, so you want some weight to the back of it too. So there's our completed card. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try, and it inspires you to get those stamps and ink out today. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Toodles.